Hey students, this is Dr. Klein. We are going to do our joins table lab, table 8A today. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a table of data and we're going to attach it to a vector shapefile. And so we're joining two pieces of information together. We're also going to manipulate the table because the data doesn't fit perfectly. And so here we go. So what you need to do is click on the data census link there. And then you're going to click on Explore Tables. Then over here, you're going to click on Filter. If this isn't showing, you can just click on Filter, and it should pop up here on your left. Click on Nation, and of course, the United States. Then we're going to go down here to Census Track. Again, if this disappears for some reason, you can click on Filters. Should show up for you. I'm going to click on that, and we are going to click on California. And then you're going to highlight all census tracts within California. And now up here it says all census tracts within California. So those two should show up. So back down to the filter, we're going to add one more filter. We're going to click on populations and people. And you're going to click on populations and people here. Then, so now you should have three filters up here. Three filters. This should, up at the top, should say 2 geos and 1 topic. And if you go back here, select filters one more time, you're going to get a list of results over here. We are looking for S0101, and there should be 27 products. If they're not, then you didn't do the filters right. You're going to select that. If you selected it right, then you should, over in here, have a table. So you can click over here and it'll move over for you. Okay. I'm going to, we want to get rid of some of this data. We don't need all of it. And margin of error is one of those things we just don't need right now. So we're going to click on margin of error. If margin of error isn't showing up here, click on more tools to the right here, and it should show up in that list. And when I clicked on that, you can see that everything disappeared. Okay. Then what you're going to do is go to more tools, and you're going to select zip. So if you have a really big screen, zip might be up here, but you're going to click on zip. So we do not want 2023 data. We want 2019 5-year data. So you're going to click on that. It's 5.5 megabytes, and you're going to click download zip. So it's downloading up here. All right. So you're going to unzip this folder, or you can move it over first. Move it over into your GIS folder. So I'm going to find my GIS folder. Let's see. There's my GIS folder right here. I'm going to move that into my GIS folder. Then I'm going to go into my GIS folder and I'm going to unzip this folder. So I'm going to extract it. There's my extraction. And I'm unextracted that folder, and if I go to GIS, I look that it is right up here. Okay. All right. Next thing we need to do is go get our shapefile for California. So we're going to leave the census website. We're going to go down to our next link here. We're going to click on that. And we see that we have shapefiles. This link takes us directly to 2019. If for some reason your link doesn't take you to 2019. You need to click on 2019, go down here to Web Interface, click on Web Interface. You're going to change this select year. You're going to just click on it and go down to 2019. Then we're going to click on the select layer type, and we're going to go to census tracts. So it should look like 2019 and census tracts. You're going to click submit and then change it to California and click download. All right, so we've got our folder up here again. We're going to move this again into your GIS folder. So here it is. I'm going to move this into my GIS folder. Since I've already done it a few times, actually. All right, and so then here it is. I'm going to unzip that, extract it. Again, I'm just replacing it because I've done it before. And you don't need any of these leftover zip files, but here are our two files right at the top that we're going to use in this lab. All right, so we're going to open up QGIS. All right, so now what you're going to second folder, and here it is. It's TL 2019-06 tract, and I've got 5 because I've downloaded it 5 times. I've been working on this video for a while. You won't see most of my mistakes, but I've been doing it for a while, and I've made lots of mistakes today. All right, so yours is going to look like this, except for without the parentheses and the 5 at the end, if you get it right on the first time. And so I just extracted that. So now we're going to QGIS, and we are going to, there's our track 5. I'm looking for the SHP file. So that's the first one here. I'm going to click on that and drag it into my work area. And we've got an orange colored state of California. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going up here. First of all, I guess I should look at the attribute table. So I clicked on my layer, go up here to attribute table, and you can see up here. Now we're going to look at this later, and we're going to compare it to the table from the spreadsheet that we also downloaded, noting that we have a GeoID. So I'm going to shrink that down, but not close it. And now I'm going to go over here, click on Add Data Source Manager. Again, make sure you're on the delimited text because we're going to download upload a CSV file. Going over here to the Browse, click on the Browse. And again, I'm in my GIS folder, so I can go up to, this is what I just downloaded. And I'm going to click on Data, okay? Not metadata, Data, the data folder, okay? And I'm going to click Open. It'll take just a moment to do that. I want to make sure that I'm on CVS file format up here. I want to make sure that I've got the number of header lines to discard. I want that to be 1. And then down here in make sure these 2 boxes are checked. Down here in geometry definition, we want no geometry. And as a result, our table looks a bit like that, okay? A few things to point out before we click Add. First of all, we've got a geographic area name, and you can see that this is going to show you a bunch of information by county. And we've got a text string that is going to be available for us. This is going to be really important because the GeoID that is in the other table is embedded in this. So we're going to use that later on. So go ahead and click Add, and then click Close. Okay. Now what we want to do is to look at the attribute table for this table. So we'll go up here, click on this attribute table, and it pops up. So let's bring up, I'm going to go back and pull up the other one. So we got two attribute tables from both layers here on our screen. Again, the GeoID is actually embedded in here, okay? Now, you got to notice that our data has this top layer of information up here. It's not a problem. It's a little bit different. And so we've got 8,058 total features versus 8,057. This is just including all the United States up here. Not a problem as long as our GeoID is embedded in this column here. So now what we got to do is match up this GeoID with this. All right. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to shrink those down. Okay. I'm going to shrink those down. And what we're going to do is go up to Processing and click on Toolbox. And in your toolbox, we're going to go to Field Calculator. And you'll find that under Vector Table if you haven't used it before. And you'll find it down here under Field Calculator. I've used it before, so it's up here on the calculator. I've already got it in there. Field. All right, so what you're going to do is in the Field Calculator is you're going to make sure that your input layer is your data file. If it isn't, you can just click on it and change it. You're going to make sure your field name is GeoID. You're going to make sure your field results field type is changed to text string. The next two values are 0, and then you're going to enter in this expression. So it's going to be sub str parenthesis geography, quotation mark geography, quotation mark, comma, and then negative. So what is this going to do? Well, if we open up their spreadsheet, the spreadsheet, look at it, you can see that the very first column is GeoID, but we have underneath it another name called geography. And so what this is going to do is it's going to look for this column called geography, and it's going to remove 11 spaces, going to match them up. Okay, so if I get that out of here and I bring back up the attribute table, we can see our GeoID starts with a 06, and so that's how they're going to match up. So attribute table, and you can see if I spread this out that after the US we've got those values. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that now. So as long as yours match up like mine do, and click Run. We'll let it run for a second. All right, and so we can see that we've got calculated over here. And if we open up the attribute table and look at it, it's going to replicate our data table, except for at the very end, you can see we've got GeoID over here. And so we're going to use this to match things up. All right, so the next part is, again, we'll need our processing toolbox, and we are going to type in join. And we're going to join by field value here. So you could join by location or nearest neighbor or flattened relationship, but we're going to do field value. So we're going to use that ID field. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the shapefile. So this is the TL 2019-06 track. And we're going to take the field table, and which is the only table there. If there were more, we'd have to make sure we were on the right table. And we're going to choose our calculated table. And then we're going to choose our GeoID. And so you got to go all the way to the end and get your GeoID. All the way down to the end, right down here. And so we've got our GeoID on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, so layer 2 field options, we're going to click on that. And we're going to take the geographic name. We've already got our GeoID, and we want our estimated total. And GeoID's at the very bottom, so we're just going to click on that as well. So we got both, and we're going to click OK. So that's just what we're going to make is a connect just those things to our shapefile. Okay. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our input layer is our IT 2019-06 track layer. Our table field is GeoID, and our second layer that we're going to add to it is calculated. GeoID here in the second field table. And then, all right, so then we're going to make sure we check the box Discord records, which could not be joined, or discard. Then your title name you're going to put into your GIS folder should be California_total_population. And you can get there by clicking on this and click on Save. And that'll bring up the appropriate and then I'll hit replace because I've already made it once. Okay, and we are done. So we can click run. All right, so we can see that we got 8,500 or 8,057 records from the input layer were successfully matched in 0.7 seconds. So we're going to close. And so California total population is now on here. And if we look at the attribute table, we can see we've got GeoID over here, and it matches this GeoID here. And so now we've successfully added the information, and you can see that we've got geographic area, which is one of the things we added, and then total estimated population, which we also added to this table, simply by matching up the GeoID numbers. So we can add more information to this shapefile anytime we want, as long as we've got a matching ID number. Okay, so with that in mind, we can do some other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to symbology. we can click on our layer. What we're going to do is, again, you're going to click on your layer. You're going to click on the little styling panel, and styling panel is open. Then you're coming over to the styling panel. You're going to make sure California total population is up in the layer that you're going to work on. And then you're going to go to graduated. And what we're going to do is we're going to enter in a formula here. And so what we're going to do is 1 million. And we're going to multiply that and put a parenthesis in. And then we're going to put estimated. And yep, that's what we want. Estimated total population. And we got our parenthesis mark. We're going to put in a space and then another space, division, and then we are going to we're going to go to field values and land. We're going to click on that and we're going to select that. Oh, let me get rid of one of those quotes. Okay, and we'll put, there you go. All right, so we've got what we need there. And population, make sure everything's spelled correct, and then we can click OK. All right, so that filled in our expression up here. Now what we're going to do is change our classes down here. We're going to change it to 10 classes, and you can see that we've made some changes to our values. So if I zoom back out, you can see it's changed to now, okay? And so we've got 10 classes. So let's look at our color ramp, which is right here. And let's see, let's do red, yellow, green. All color ramps, red, yellow, green. I'm going to do that. There we go. And I think I'd like to invert our color. So let's invert our color ramp so that it's red where the population is higher and green where it is lower. Okay, let's just click that. So all right, so we got a population tree. So now what we want to change is change our bounds. We want to change our bounds. So I'm going to double click on here. And I want to go from 0 to 1. All right. So I'm going to change this to 1, 2. So I'm just changing these to the different levels to make it more along the lines of what I want. And then 25 to 50. And 50 to 100. $250. So I'm just changing these to the right. 500. All right, so now I've got that ready. Now what you need to do is make me a map with an appropriate legend, and I'd like it on some part of California. So it doesn't matter where. So if I wanted to do San Francisco, I could do that. And so all right, so I've got that. Put a north arrow. And a legend. Legend. Update. Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. Oh, back up. Let's change this. All right, so there we go. Now we've got something. We've got a title, so this is all you need, and you can export your PDF. Okay. All right, so there's my PDF, and we're good. All right, hope that's useful. Have a good day.